Hello and a very warm welcome, viewers. You're watching Parliament This Week with your host Kriti Mishra, where we get a roundup of all that happened in Parliament through the week. It has been a very productive week for both houses of Parliament. Rajya Sabha passed 4 bills, while Lok Sabha took up demands for grants and supplementary demands for grants for 2021-2022. Both houses also discussed functioning of various ministries. First, a look at the bills passed by the Rajya Sabha this week.
Amendment moved. Those in favor will say, please say aye. Those against will please say no.
The National Institutes of Food Technology, Entrepreneurship and Management Bill 2019 was passed by the Rajya Sabha on Monday by a voice vote.
Clause 28 as amended to vote. Those in favor will say, please say aye. Those against will say, please no. I think ayes have it, ayes have it, ayes have it. The clause 28 as amended is adopted.
The objective of the bill is to confer the status of institutions of national importance to National Institute of Food Technology, Entrepreneurship and Management at Kundli in Haryana and the Indian Institute of Food Processing Technology at Thanjavur in Tamil Nadu.
Those against will say, please say no. I think ayes have it, ayes have it, ayes have it. Amendment is adopted.
जब इनको राष्ट्रीय महत्व का दर्जा मिल जाएगा तो ये हमारे आईआईटी और आईआईएम के बराबर हो जाएंगे, तो निश्चित रूप से शिक्षा से जुड़े हुए लोग, टेक्नोलॉजी से जुड़े हुए लोग और जो इस क्षेत्र में छात्र आना चाहते हैं वो सब इस पर और आकर्षित होंगे। और जब टेक्नोलॉजी से लैस हमारी मेन पावर खड़ी होगी तो निश्चित रूप से प्रोसेसिंग बढ़ेगी तो अंततः किसान को फायदा होगा।
Parliament passed the Medical Termination of Pregnancy Amendment Bill 2020 with the Rajya Sabha passing it on Tuesday. The bill seeks to extend the upper limit for permitting abortions from the present 20 weeks to 24 weeks for special categories of women. Health and Family Welfare Minister Harshvardhan said that bill will ensure safe termination of pregnancies.
उन गर्भवती महिलाओं के लिए है जिनके विशेष परिस्थितियां हैं और वो विशेष परिस्थितियां ऐसी हैं कि जिनके अंदर या तो उनको लेट डायग्नोसिस हुआ, जैसे हमने कहा कि रेप के केसेस हैं, इंसेस्ट के केसेस हैं या कोई इस तरीके से जो असाधारण परिस्थिति है उसके अंदर, और वो भी जो है उसमें 20 हफ्ते के बाद जो है दूसरा एक डॉक्टर को इसलिए इंक्लूड किया टू बी एक्स्ट्रा सेफ.
The National Commission for Allied and Healthcare Professional Bills 2020 was also passed by the Rajya Sabha this week. The bill seeks to regulate and standardize the education and practice of allied and healthcare professionals and specifies certain categories of allied and healthcare professions as recognized categories.
3 as amended to vote. Those in favor will please say aye. Those against will please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. Clause 3 as amended.
Regarding 2 years or 3 years, these will be minimal diploma/degree proper courses. Then regarding the state council, professional education is in concurrent list. Right now, no state councils. If no state body is constituted, the National Commission will not be able to function. And as suggested, the composition cannot be left to states since it is important to have uniform standards and uniform institutional structures.
The Upper House also passed the Insurance Amendment Bill 2021. The bill amends the Insurance Act 1938 and seeks to increase the limit on foreign investment in Indian insurance companies from 49% to 74%. Replying to the debate on the bill, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman said that hike in foreign investment will supplement the domestic long-term capital.
This enabling amendment is only to allow them to receive some money but not exceed 74. So it is for the companies and the promoters to decide to what extent they want that money. And the policy holders' money which is going to be collected will have to be invested within India only. It cannot be crossing our boundary.
Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman to move a motion. Those in favor will please say aye.
Kriti Mishra, Sansad TV.
Will please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. The bill is passed.
The Lok Sabha this week passed the demands for grants and supplementary demands for grants for 2021-2022. The House also approved the appropriation bill, thus completing two-thirds of budget exercise. Two other key bills were also passed. The Lok Sabha on Wednesday passed the Appropriation Bill 2021-2022, authorizing the government to draw 117.16 lakh crore from the Consolidated Fund of India for its working and implementation of its programs and schemes. The Appropriation Bill was introduced by Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman.
में ना कहें, मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष में प्रस्ताव स्वीकृत हुआ, विधेयक पारित हुआ.
The Lok Sabha earlier discussed demands for grants of various ministries, including railways, education and health. Speaker Om Birla later applied the guillotine, after which all the outstanding demands for grants, whether discussed or not, were put to vote at once and passed.
रखूंगा. प्रश्न ये है कि अविशिष्ट अनुदानों की मांगों के संबंध में प्रस्तुत किए हुए माने गए सभी कटौती प्रस्ताव स्वीकृत किए जाए. जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में हाँ कहें, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना कहें, मेरे विचार में निर्णय ना वालों के पक्ष में.
The Lok Sabha also passed the supplementary demands for grants and the related appropriation bill by voice vote. In the final batch of supplementary demands for grants for the current fiscal, the government sought Parliament's nod for an additional expenditure of 6.28 lakh crore, of which the net outgo has been estimated at 4.12 lakh crore. The rest will be matched by savings in different ministries and departments.
सप्लीमेंट्री डिमांड्स का लेकर आए हैं, उसमें कुल मिलाकर 79 ग्रांट्स और 2 एप्रोप्रिएशन की हम इसमें बात कर रहे हैं, जिसमें कुल मिलाकर अतिरिक्त जो खर्चे की हम बात कर रहे हैं, एडिशनल एक्सपेंडिचर की बात कर रहे हैं, वो लगभग 6,28,379 करोड़ है. और इसमें से नेट कैश आउटगो जो है, जो लगभग 4,12,653 करोड़ रुपये के लगभग होगी. और इसमें से जो कैश आउटगो की हम बात कर रहे हैं, वो लगभग 3,79,699 करोड़ रुपया है. रेवेन्यू सेक्शन के अंतर्गत ये पूंजी आएगी और इसके अलावा जो कैपिटल सेक्शन है उसके अंतर्गत 32,964.48 करोड़ रुपए इसमें रखे गए हैं.
In other legislative business, the Lok Sabha passed the Mines and Minerals Development and Regulation Amendment Bill 2021. Union Minister Prahlad Joshi said the proposed changes in the MMDR Act will help create employment opportunities and allow participation of private sector players in mining activities with enhanced technology. He asserted that even if the centre auctions a mine, all the revenue will go to the states concerned.
But in last 5 years, 143 mines have been handed over to the states. Only 7 have been auctioned. स्टेट गवर्नमेंट्स को हम के साथ बैठ के समय निर्धारण करते हैं. आफ्टर फिक्सिंग द टाइम इन कंसल्टेशन विथ स्टेट, इफ दे डू नॉट गो फॉर ऑक्शन, देन शुड यू लीव इट लाइक दैट? तो हमारा जो रिच मिनरल्स है ऐसे ही रहना चाहिए, और हम करोड़ों करोड़ों रुपए खर्चा करके इंपोर्ट करते हैं. इसके बारे में सोचना चाहिए. Government of India doesn't want any power, and entire revenue goes to the state government.
Lok Sabha also passed the Constitution Scheduled Caste Order Amendment Bill 2021. The bill seeks to modify the list of scheduled castes in Tamil Nadu by grouping of 7 castes which presently exist as separate castes. Speaking on the bill, Social Justice and Empowerment Minister Thawar Chand Gehlot said that no caste is being included and omitted within this legislation. He also said that only the regrouping of some castes will be done so that the aspiration of these communities can be fulfilled.
जाति शामिल की जा रही है और न कोई जाति विलोपित की जा रही है. इस प्रस्ताव द्वारा इन 7 समुदायों को रीग्रुप करके उनके सदस्यों की आकांक्षाओं को पूरा करना है, ताकि उन्हें समाज में और अधिक सम्मान मिल सके.
Bureau Report, Sansad TV. The second phase of the Jal Shakti Abhiyan will be launched on 22nd March in 700 districts across the country. Jal Shakti Minister Gajendra Singh Shekhawat apprised the Upper House this week. Replying to the discussion on the working of Jal Shakti Ministry, he informed the upper house that work is underway in projects worth 1.91 lakh crore under the flagship Jal Jeevan Mission, which seeks to provide drinking water to every rural household in the country.
और इस जो मैं खुशी के साथ में कहना चाहता हूं, माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के कर कमलों से आगामी 22 मार्च से हम पूरे देश में जल शक्ति अभियान एक बार फिर शुरू कर रहे हैं। अब की बार 700 के 700 जिलों में प्रारंभ कर रहे हैं और 700 के 700 जिलों में इस तरह की वाटर कंजर्वेशन एक्टिविटीज को प्रारंभ कर रहे हैं।
Railways Minister Piyush Goyal said on Wednesday that there are no plans to privatize Indian Railways. Replying to the discussion on working of Railways Ministry in the Rajya Sabha, Goyal said that the Indian Railways is the property of every citizen and will remain so.
इसमें किसी को कोई चिंता करने की आवश्यकता नहीं है। रेलवे भारत की संपत्ति है, आगे भी रहेगी। इसका कोई निजीकरण कोई नहीं करेगा, कोई कर भी नहीं सकता। अच्छा निवेश बढ़े, निवेश ज्यादा आए और देश की सेवा करे, मैं समझता हूं उसमें सरकार भी अपना पैसा डाल रही है। और जैसा मैंने बताया, पहले के निस्बत आज 5 गुना सरकार निवेश कर रही है, लेकिन आवश्यकता है तो उससे कई ज्यादा बढ़ी है। और नेशनल रेल प्लान को जब हम देखते हैं तो 3 और डेडिकेटेड फ्रेट कॉरिडोर की आवश्यकता दिखती है। उसमें निवेश लगेगा हजारों करोड़ का, लाखों करोड़ का।
India plans to unveil a new tourism policy soon. Tourism Minister Prahlad Singh Patel announced in the Rajya Sabha during the discussion on the working of his ministry. He said the country has embarked on a journey to achieve the top ranking in the sector by the year 2024, despite the challenges. The centre has circulated the new proposed tourism policy among states for its finalization, and it focuses on developing medical, religious and other facets of tourism and offering new destinations along with the popular ones.
टूरिज्म पॉलिसी हमने सारे राज्यों को पहुंचाई है, सारे स्टेक होल्डर्स को पहुंचाई है। 1 महीने के आसपास हो गया है। बहुत जल्दी हमारी कोशिश होगी, क्योंकि लगातार जो प्रश्न उठते हैं उसी बात पर उठते हैं कि अगर टूरिज्म पॉलिसी बनेगी कि नहीं बनेगी। पर मुझे लगता है कि इस बदलाव के बाद जो पॉलिसी बनेगी वो दुनिया में वही स्थान प्राप्त करने के लिए बनेगी जो भारत का लक्ष्य है। और हम पूरा विश्वास करते हैं कि 2014 में हम 65वें स्थान से 5 वर्षों में 34वें स्थान पर आए थे। हमारी यात्रा 34 में से 1 नंबर की जानी थी। 1 वर्ष 0 वर्ष हो गया, लेकिन उपसभापति जी, मेरा भरोसा है देश की जनता पर, यहाँ की संस्कृति पर, यहाँ के मूल्यों पर, हमारे देश के नेतृत्व पर कि मैं आंकड़ा बदलूंगा नहीं। जो लक्ष्य हमने तय किया है 2024 में वो प्राप्त करेंगे।
And Union Transport Minister Nitin Gadkari made a statement in Parliament on Thursday on the much-awaited vehicle scrappage policy. Calling it win-win for all, Gadkari said that the aim of the policy is to keep old, polluting vehicles from plying on the road while promoting new vehicles to boost growth in the auto sector. The new policy was proposed by Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman during her budget speech last month.
एक ऐसी परिस्थिति निर्माण करेगी जिसमें स्क्रैपिंग सेंटर्स, ऑटोमोबाइल इंडस्ट्री, कंपोनेंट इंडस्ट्री और सामान्य लोग, इनका सबका फायदा होगा। स्क्रैपिंग सर्टिफिकेट के आधार पर नया वाहन खरीदने के लिए 5% की छूट जो है वो मिलेगी और रजिस्ट्रेशन फीस और रोड टैक्स में भी भारी छूट मिलेगी। इससे लोगों को नए वाहनों को खरीदने के लिए प्रोत्साहित होंगे, जिसमें ऑटोमोबाइल सेक्टर की सेल्स और बढ़ेगी। इसमें जो राज्य सरकार का और भारत सरकार का जीएसटी है, अनुमान है कि करीब 30 से 40 हज़ार करोड़ इसमें जीएसटी बढ़ेगा, क्योंकि नए वाहनों की खरीदी बिक्री होगी। और इसके साथ साथ सबसे महत्वपूर्ण चीज़ है कि नई टेक्नोलॉजी के कारण जो फ्यूल इफिशिएंसी है, उसके कारण जो हमारा 8 लाख करोड़ का इंपोर्ट हो रहा है वो भी कम होगा।
An External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar assured Parliament that India is fully cognizant of the plight of Indian workers and students abroad on account of the COVID-19 pandemic. Making a statement in both houses of Parliament, Jaishankar said that the government is working to address the re-employment concerns of people working abroad and to improve the economic growth and create job opportunities. He informed that the government has started a skills mapping program for those who will either not go back or are facing delays in going back.
The government is fully cognizant of the employment concerns that our people abroad have in the context of the pandemic. Especially in the Gulf, there has been tremendous economic and social disruption that has impacted them. We have softened it somewhat, but the real challenges are there to be addressed. Let me assure the House that we take this as a priority. Both my MOS and myself, and indeed our ambassadors and senior officials, spend time and efforts to go into these problems in the greatest of details. We have been in touch with the most community organizations and get a regular feedback on both the health situation and economic recovery.
In another statement on India's vaccine Maitri initiative in both houses of parliament, External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar informed that India has till now supplied vaccines for coronavirus to 72 nations under vaccine Maitri. He said the approach is in line with India's age-old tradition of Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam, and India's reputation as pharmacy of the world has been reinforced. He assured that there were enough vaccines available in the country for domestic use.
In planning and executing vaccine Maitri, we are naturally guided by a determination to make a difference at a difficult moment for global society. Our reputation as the pharmacy of the world has been reinforced in that process. So indeed has the faith in Make in India. But more than the vaccines themselves, our policies and conduct have emerged as a source of strength for the stressed and vulnerable nations of the world. They can see that there is at least one major nation that truly believes in making vaccines accessible and affordable to others in dire need.
Time for a short break. Lots more on the other side. And moving on now, Lok Sabha paid tribute to BJP MP Ram Swarup Sharma and former MP Dilip Gandhi, who passed away on Wednesday. BJP MP from Mandi in Himachal Pradesh, Ram Swarup Sharma, was found dead at his Delhi residence on Wednesday morning. 62-year-old Sharma was a two-time MP elected from Mandi in 2014 and 2019. BJP leader and former Union Minister Dilip Gandhi died at a hospital in New Delhi. 69-year-old Gandhi had served as the Minister of State for Shipping in the NDA government. He had won the Lok Sabha elections 3 times since 1999 from Ahmednagar in Maharashtra. And Rajya Sabha chairman has accepted the resignation of nominated member Swapan Das Gupta. Das Gupta tendered his resignation from the upper house of parliament on Tuesday after being named as a BJP candidate in the upcoming West Bengal assembly polls. Deputy Chairman Harivansh said chairman has received Das Gupta's resignation letter dated March 16th and accepted his resignation with effect from March 17th. Das Gupta, who became a Rajya Sabha member on April 25, 2016, was named by the BJP as its candidate from the Tarikeshwar constituency in poll-bound West Bengal. His term as a member of the upper house was till April 24, 2022. And on a week-long visit to India, Durrati Pacheco, President of the Inter-Parliamentary Union, addressed members of both houses of parliament in the Central Hall this week. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, union ministers and MPs from both houses of parliament were also present at the event. He also witnessed the proceedings of the Rajya Sabha. Addressing Indian parliamentarians in the Central Hall of Parliament, IPU President Durrati Pacheco said that India, being the largest democracy in the world, and IPU, which is one of the oldest parliamentary institutions in the world, are committed to strengthening democratic values worldwide. Talking about COVID-19 pandemic, Pacheco thanked Indian leadership for reaching out to countries across the world to ensure supply of COVID-19 vaccines.
During the last years, with your leadership, with concrete decisions and actions, India has registered a huge economic and social development, reducing poverty, and it shows the end to reducing poverty.
Welcoming the IPU President, Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla stressed on strengthening India's democratic system. Deputy Chairman of Rajya Sabha, Harivansh, listed the methods adopted by Parliament during COVID-19 to ensure smooth and uninterrupted functioning of Parliament.
वैश्विक परिदृश्य में जब लोकतंत्र पूरी दुनिया में विस्तार हो रहा है, मेरी अपेक्षा है कि पूरी दुनिया में पार्लियामेंट डिप्लोमेसी बढ़े। लोकतांत्रिक देशों की संसदों के बीच नियमित संवाद हो, आपसी विचार हो, ताकि हम एक दूसरे की बेस्ट प्रैक्टिस का लाभ उठा सकें।
To meet in September 2020 and during the ongoing budget session by strictly adhering to the COVID-19 protocols and guidelines to ensure the conduct of its sittings in a safer environment. Our Parliament has provided all the requisite legislative and other support to the energetic efforts of the government to meet the unprecedented challenges of the pandemic.
On behalf of the members of the House, hearty welcome to him and wish our distinguished guest.
Earlier on Monday, Pacheco, along with the IPU delegation, witnessed proceedings of the Rajya Sabha. Kriti Mishra, Sansad TV.
Through him, we convey our greetings and best wishes to the IPU Secretariat and its members, countries.
So that's all we had for you in this edition of Parliament This Week. Thanks for watching and stay tuned.